What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 2 of Avoiding the Drop. Today we're going to be looking at staff and kind of, replacing your staff and also sorting out training schedules for your players. It's something that's often overlooked within Football Manager, and something that I highly recommend you kind of get in the habit of doing, particularly when you join a new club. So it's still the first day of my managerial reign here at the team, and what we're going to be doing today is basically making sure that I have all the staff I need. So, looking at the squad here, we're going to start off with the reserve manager, which is Mick Phillips. And I can already tell you this guy's a very good kind of reserve manager. There's a few key attributes to look for with every kind of role, I guess, within your club. And this guy ticks a lot of boxes. Two things which are often overlooked, particularly with assistants, is your judging player potential and your judging player ability. If your assistant has those stats, in decent regard, he's good at them, it means that when it comes to kind of viewing your squad star ratings, your existing player star ratings, they'll be fairly accurate kind of in terms of providing you with a representation of how good they are. But this guy has some really nice stats on him. His mental stats are really well kind of rounded off, which is something particularly good in assistant managers, directors of footballs, reserve managers. Determination and adaptability are useful. I've already covered why judging player potential and player ability are useful. Level of discipline is useful for if you want your assistant to sort out like fines and stuff. Motivating is a really key one, as it will help players train better. And then tactical knowledge, of course, helps with training tactics, but also kind of applying tactics to your team if you were to go on holiday or something. And then there's one or two that are key here that are useful for the reserve managers as opposed to just coaches, and they are man management, tactical, and working with youngsters. They're kind of free ones which I like to have in my kind of assistant manager. So Terry McPhillips fits the role well. Keith Millen here, he's a fairly good assistant manager. However, I think I can probably do better than him. So what I'm going to do is I don't want to fire him immediately because I can, terminate his contract on his first day kind of under my reign. However, what we're going to do is we're going to look now for an assistant manager who is kind of the level that I want them to be. Now, because I'm not going on holiday or anything, the tactical knowledge isn't as important as it might be, nor is something like level of discipline, because I'll be handling all that stuff myself. So I'm just going to tick what I think are the key attributes, and we'll just see if we can find someone with them. So I've got my assistant currently filtering out unrealistic transfers for a person to replace him, which is why I don't want to sack him, because otherwise I can't then bring in a new assistant manager. So this Bulgarian guy doesn't look too bad. Ivailo Yordanov, not too shabby. As always, fiddle with the kind of filters and see what you can come up with. Someone like this guy, Paul Montgomery, could be half decent. Unfortunately, he hasn't got the best tactical knowledge and he hasn't got the best man management, so he's probably a no. But really, you've just got to fiddle around with the filters until you get kind of, I guess, the coach that you're looking for. So I'm looking at Tony Cotton here, and he's a very good assistant. And I think I'm going to pick him up. He looks decent. His tactical knowledge isn't the best, but all in all, he's balanced across all areas of the park, and I'm really liking the look of those mentals. They're going to be huge in terms of helping me out at the club. So we're going to offer him the job as assistant manager. Apparently he has no interest as of yet, so I need to increase the wage I offer him and give him a longer contract. And he's not interested, it's one of the downsides, I suppose, with anything like this. Let me lock in these this time and see if I can get him to accept. Nope, he's not interested, unfortunately. So we'll see who else is available. We have Simon Smith here, similar person, very good mentals again. I don't know, it's a tricky one. You really just have to fiddle with the filters until you get something that you're kind of happy with, I suppose. But a lot of the time it's just a case of fiddling, and eventually you'll get what you're looking for in terms of a fairly solid assistant manager. Glenn Lefferen here, not too bad either, but again, his mentals, they're just not in the same league as Cotton. I think I'm going to pick up Simon Smith if I can. He looks like he's got a lot lower wage demand, so he'll probably make a better assistant manager, so we'll just suggest those, and he's accepted. Now, I'm not going to release my current assistant and manager just yet, because I need to sort out the rest of these kind of staff roles still, so we'll see who else is available. So Bobby Kavanagh is currently head of youth development. He's a regen. I'm going to immediately mutually terminate his contract. Oh wait, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be terminate contract. Ugh, why am I having to offer compensation? We'll go with it. That's weird. But no, he's not too bad. But now we're looking for a new kind of assistant youth, head of youth development, which is, it's not the easiest role to fill, but it doesn't require as many kind of crazy stats as the others. The ones which I like to look for in this are determination, working with youngsters, and then ability to judge players. They're the big ones for me. Peter Farrell here has been thrown up. He's a pretty solid assistant manager, it has to be said. Good areas of strength. So we're going to get him as head of youth development if he will come. Hopefully he'll come. He's only at Brentford at the moment, so he doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to come. First world problems. Just see who we can get. It's a tricky one. It's never easy, kind of picking up new staff, and I mean, I could spend hours setting up a team from scratch. I'm not going to go through every single squad area, but if we can get one or two kind of new staff members for me to kind of emphasise the point, you can of course kind of spend as long or as little time as you want kind of signing new staff members. It's up to you at the end of the day. One thing that kind of annoys me about some FM tutorials is they tell you how to play with these kind of videos. I like to kind of just keep it really laid back. And basically, I guess whilst I'm giving you tips and whilst I'm trying to, help you guys who are watching this improve at FM, I don't want to tell you how to manage. And it really annoys me when someone tells me, oh, you should use all your subs, or, they tell you how to play FM, because in reality, in real life, there isn't one way to manage a squad. There's thousands of ways. There are ways. There are managers who won't use their subs. There are managers who will use their subs. And it's kind of up to you, I guess, to come up with your own managerial style within FM. I know people who like to be really strict and fine their players whenever they don't perform. That's not how I play, but, I can understand why people do it. Okay, so now that we've sorted out our squad, it's time for us to go on and sort out our training schedule. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about general team training. Now, for example, with this is where you can set your general training before every game. If you're a team who's very kind of small in depth, and you have a lot of midweek fixtures, maybe you're in a European Cup run, highly recommend you change your default focus to fitness, and then your average intensity to high. Because we're kind of struggling defensively this year, just from the sheer amount of goals we've let in, I'm going to put average defending focus on as the team thing. Just going to have a look at our coaches and setting up these in the best way we can. So we don't have the biggest kind of squad set up because we have such low wages. I can't afford to bring in hundreds of managers. However, what we're going to be doing today is we're really going to be just sorting out the general kind of staff roles and who's going to be going where in terms of who's training what. So, as I said, we have a very small squad, which is a little bit of a bummer, and it does make it a tricky task trying to get this all balanced out. I mean, the more staff you have, the better this goes, but basically, it's fairly logical here. Your fitness coaches, if they have good fitness training, they'll allow better star ratings in terms of training. If you had two fitness coaches, you can have one take strength and one take aerobic. I think I may well do a separate video on this altogether, showing off the FC United of Manchester setup I have, because on that save, the amount of effort that's gone into by me to kind of get all my squad kind of been trained to the maximum ability in each area is unbelievable. But anyway, let's get straight into today's game, which is going to be the first game in charge at the club against Norwich City. Okay, guys, so it's match day, and we're at home to Norwich today, which is going to make things interesting. Obviously, the squad is fairly kind of tired. We've already kind of identified that in the previous episode, talking about the squad selection. If you didn't see that one and you want to learn more about the system I'm playing and all that stuff, feel free to check that out. One thing I didn't cover in the video previously was the team instructions. I find simpler usually works better with these unless you're going for a really complex system, but then when you tend to have a complex tactic, it's usually been developed over time, and so it kind of works for you. So for now, we're going to start off with things fairly simple. Against Norwich today, we are going to go with our attacking 4-1-4-1 tactic. Charlie Austin up front, Jermaine Pennant and Zemina on either wing. We've got a few injuries and stuff which are kind of, I guess, knocked down our squad's kind of depth and stuff, which is a little bit of a bummer. But hopefully we can do well in today's game. Obviously, first game of the season. I don't know how well the players are going to play this game. This could be a tricky one. Looking at how Norwich is set up, they're setting up with a 4-4-1. It'll be interesting to kind of see how our tactics work here. This is the first game I've been in charge, so we'll see how we get on. I'm just going to tell the players to relax, and hopefully we can have a good start to the season, and a good start to the game. This episode, I'm actually going to try out this view. Let me know what you make of 2D, kind of the newer 2D view. I've always been a fan of 2D Classic, but this new view's kind of been one that I've started to use a little bit recently off recordings, and I'd be interested to know if you guys prefer it or don't prefer it to the kind of default tactics. But anyway, Norwich getting off to a flyer here, which is a little bit worrying to see, but we are defending well. And it's going to be interesting to see how we go here. Looking at the stats, fairly 50-50 game, not a lot of chances being made. But we're doing okay at the moment. We need to defend solidly against teams like Norwich. This is a kind of semi-winnable game, but at the same time, it's up to our players to kind of turn up and perform. And it's kind of all down to them at the end of the day. If we don't perform, then we're going to struggle. Jermaine Pennant there with a silly little tackle. And we've got a set piece which we're going to have to defend well here. We've actually edged possession, which is a good thing to see, but we're really not doing a lot with it at the moment. And Norwich have a good chance here. Ball whipped in. Van Wolfswinkel is there. Gets his head on the ball. That will be 1-0 Norwich. And we're in 19th place. And I need to mix up these tactics. I'm actually going to go slightly more attacking. We need to get some more of the ball up the park. And I'm hoping that by switching to a 4-4-1-1, we can maybe do something a little bit more with the ball. Going into the second half, it's going to be 0-0. Been a fairly 50-50 game, but it's just not been good enough. I expect to see a much better showing in the second half. There's a lot to come from you. We need to turn this around. I'm going to tell the defence have been unlucky. Someone didn't appreciate that. But no, now it's up to us to really get forward and I guess just attack a little bit more. So I'm going to go for push higher up and play a little bit more direct. We've got to mix things up in this second half. We have been struggling so far, and the players need to up their game. I'm expecting a good performance here. It's our first game in charge. Really hoping that Charlie Austin, or at least someone, can get on the score sheet for us, because you're not going to win games if you don't score, and we do have a chance here. Ward, can he get in the ball? Garvin, good little play here. Norwich getting plenty of men behind the ball, though, really parking the bus, but we are breaking them down. Dickachoy, Williams... And that's a foul. Howson going to go in the book there, I think. Which it's okay. We're doing well. We've got a set piece here. We've got to make the most of these kind of set pieces. Pennant whips in the ball. Williams is there. It's offside, unfortunately. That's annoying. Good chance though. Good work off the set piece. A tad bit unlucky, but at the end of the day, it was offside. We've got to watch our line, and Pennant's going to get sent off here. Oh, what a start to my time in charge here. January is going to be kind of where we really start to see some changes with kind of the transfer window opening. It'll be a chance for me to kind of bring in some new faces, I suppose. But this is not the start I wanted. Norwich is a winnable game. Admittedly, it's not going to be an easy to win game, but at the same time, you'd hope that we could grind out a result against them, and it's going to be very hard now, down to 10 men. To create anything really. We're not doing anything with the ball, but we are holding firm at the back, which I suppose is good. And we have had a good little spell on the ball, which is good to see. But again, it's all very good and well having spells on the ball, but we need goals. And going down to 10 men, it's going to be tricky. It's not going to be easy. As I mentioned, the transfer window is when I'm hoping we'll really start to see kind of a transformation as I kind of mix up the system. And we've got a chance here. Austin threads through the ball. Williams to your right. Barnes buries it. 1-1. We're back in this game. Slightly against the one run of play, but that is good play. And we're looking good in this second half. We're playing well. And with 10 minutes left, I'd certainly take 1-1. And it looks like that is going to be what we get. Down to 10 men. Really pulled it back from behind. The commentator's saying it was a ball draw, but I will certainly take that result. And 1-1 draw against Norwich is not too bad. They're an established Premier League side. Where are they in the league? They are currently 13th, and that draw actually sees us pull ourselves out of the relegation zone, which is a really good result to see. There's just one more thing I'm going to do this episode before I wrap things up, and that is a team talk. And I'm just going to tell the guys to keep up the hard work, trying to get any reaction I can out of them. Only 2 players reacting well, which is a tiny bit unlucky, but considering that first result, I'm pretty happy with this. It's going to be interesting to obviously see how we get on. Next episode will be the transfer window opening. We're talking about my plans for the transfer window, and also kind of responding to changes that I see within the league, and kind of talking to you guys about what's happened off camera in terms of I guess how I've gone about changing things, any changes to the system I've made, because when you first come to a club, things aren't going to work immediately. It is all about tinkering. But anyway, yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Think a little bit different. Hopefully you're enjoying the series. As I said last episode, if you've got any feedback with regards to this series, stuff you'd like to see done differently, leave it down in the comments below and I will get back to you for certain. And other than that, it is me, Jack, guys, and I'll talk to you in a bit. I'm out.